Hello guys, welcome back to this channel again. So we want to look at how you can take a massive winner like this. So maybe if you want to target 1 to 10, that would be up to you, but personally I like targeting 1 to 6 thereabout, so that you can maximize your time spread and everything. So that is an example. This is an example of trade that I took. So as you can see, it starts by moving and then we get a pullback, and then immediately we get this pullback. We should be getting another entry if you like, but it's unnecessary. You have another entry target, can have this target, same target, and then hold if you are willing to hold for long. The checklist is the same. So if you are willing to hold for long, you can just hold. Now this strategy is very simple and does not require a lot of markings and analysis paralysis. So it is the swing option of my intraday strategy. I've already recorded a video similar to this in Euro USD, and I think it's already uploaded by the time you are seeing this. So just be on the lookout and check on the channel. You are going to find something similar. So as you can see, this trade massively moved to 1 to 12. The other one possibly could have moved to 1 to 10. So like I said, this is just an example of a trade I took recently from my swing strategy option. This day I didn't take it. Probably I was using the intraday. I had the intraday sessions. So, and I have a maximum of 2 trades to take in a day, because I get so many trades in a day, so I have to filter them out. Now this is an example of that trade that I took, GBP card, and you can see took it and then it moved left there at 6.5 R, and that is the trade here, that is the buy. So the reason why I tell you so is because in a day, a good day, like you can see, there is so many trades that I give every day. You can join here, it's free. So from this I just choose 2 if this were the best, and then I go with them. The rest I just ignore. So let me break for you down on how to swing this using the same strategy, and everything is purely the same. So we can delete everything and start afresh. There's no many marking, it's just understanding the daily price movement and know when to look for such good trades. Now let's replay here. Now criteria number 1 is that try and look for swings when there was a heavy pullback. Maybe that will need to update because that is unwritten rule. So like in this case, after this heavy pullback, if we got 2 closure in the downside, we would have gotten a good sales, but that did not happen. Now look at this. After a very good push, we got 2 double close in one direction, massive sales. Now again, if we got 2, like in this case we got 2 closure in one direction, so this day we are supposed to be buying, but it closed bullish, it closed bearish, meaning that we have to activate our second the other part of the strategy, which is the intraday. When prices close in opposite direction in a bullish market, you buy. So still you could have held this long. So same here, this day we are having 2 closure in one day. Sorry for that. We are having 2 closure, that is the swing continuation. So we want to swing this thing and then continue selling it, swing it. So if you want to continue, it's up to you. Like this, in this case, this was continuation. After candle has closed in opposite, then we have 2 closure in one direction, you can swing it. You can again have continuation trade. Now so market closes direction, market changes direction by closing twice on the daily time frame. Now we want to swing. You don't want to continue or to trade intraday, you want to swing. So this was a buying market, and then now we need to see 2 candle closure in one direction. So that is we've seen. So the third day, which is on Thursday, we go to 4 hours and continue with the rest of the checklist. So you don't miss anything. Do not miss anything in the checklist. If you miss anything on the checklist, you shall have interfered with the process, and therefore it may not work for you the way it's supposed to work. Yet this strategy should give you at least a 50% win rate, and with 50% win rate, if you take all the trades, do not count the ones you are wicked off, and then maybe if you are wicked off, do not count it, and then the trade went to your direction. That one is just leave it alone. Count the one that you had a genuine stop loss, and you also had a genuine take profit. So market changes direction by closing. That one is checked. First 4 hour aligned and closed in overall direction, which is high probability. First 4 hour aligned and closed. So let's see. Aligning means that we were selling. So if it takes the low of this, it means that is high probability. So let's see. Now you can see it starts by taking the low of this. So that means that first 4 hours has just aligned in the previous day. Now what next? The next thing to do here is to wait for second alignment. So we go to the next step. Second 4 hour alignment in the first 1 hour of the new 4 hour candle. Now first hour is aligned, we are done with that. Now let me tell you something. If at all we align like this and then it misaligned again, leave it alone. It's going to disturb you. Even if it's going to go, it's going to disturb you. So just leave that trade alone, and come and look for another trade another time, because that is going to disturb you eventually. It will be moving up and down, and then maybe now move down overnight after taking your stop loss. So just make sure that when the first candle aligns, unless it started by aligning upwards. So if it is aligning upward, just leave it alone. It means it's still pulling back, and then you will catch up with it when it starts to align downwards. So provided it doesn't align up and down, you just need to focus on aligning in your direction. So let's go to second alignment in the first 1 hour of the new candle. So this candle has closed, so we are expecting a new one. So a new one is starting at 4 AM my time. So I'm expecting that within that 1 hour, we should be able to see an alignment. If it doesn't align in this 1 hour, I'm leaving this trade and I'm not checking it again. So that is how to be disciplined. I'm not checking it again, because this thing I've summarized for you. You don't need to interpret so many of these movements. That is unnecessary. SMC has already, and you can see if the momentum is there, the market will always align. If the momentum is there, even if the candle was here, it would have aligned. But if it starts by moving like this, being dodgy, just leave the market and leave it alone. You are going to get so many setups. That is why there are so many trades to be looking at all these trades. By the way, this is main pairs, this is JPY pairs, and then this is AUD pairs, and then part of Euro pairs. So I just look at main pairs, JPY, AUD, not very many the way you may think. So with this alignment, now you are very confident that everything is checked. Yeah, delete that. So we go to the next one. So wait at least 2 candles of 30 minutes, pullback or manipulation. Now with this momentum, the way you can see it's very big like this. So you go to 30 minutes and start now monitoring the entry number 4 and 5. So we are still at number 4. So let's see. Now if this momentum is to keep being this extremely bearish, this should go in the next 30 minutes. If this goes, then I recommend that you just take, because the momentum is so heavy, don't expect heavy pullback. If we can have one candle that will be able to engulf this like this, then just wait for any pullback up here and take your trade, and stop loss, try and make it to be on high of this 1 hour for maybe a 14 pips or even a 10 pips stop loss. So let's see. So now we are checking alignments. So the first one nearly aligns, but it doesn't. So you don't take the trade. It means there's possibility of pulling back. So start to pull back, which is okay. You can see this high has been taken, so we are starting to pull back. So let's see. If we don't pull back, if this low is taken, you can enter using the same thinking, or I was thinking here, but just be aware that if you are wicked in, you will still enter. The market is imperfect, so, and then you want to get precision entry, it is going to disturb you. Otherwise, the alternative option was immediately this this candle aligned here, you would have taken your trade. Stop loss, this would be 13 pips, so you can make it maybe 15 pips will be fine. So 15 pips, 15 pips will be fine. So maybe you can place that as 15. So 15 pips. So we can target a 1 2. If you take 15 pips, maybe you can target 90 pips, which is 1 to 6. That is my average. I like 1 to 6, so this should be a 1 to 6. If you don't want the stress of looking for precision entry, you can just take it from 1 hour. I highly recommend you take it from 1 hour. Just be aware that if you are liquidated here, it means now the market has pulled back successfully. So even if it was to pull back and take the lows of this, just wait for 30 minutes and get in again. So this would be like that. So the other option would be to keep waiting, like I said, to keep waiting on, if this high is taken, you can take your entry. So you go to like 5 minutes and wait for this to be taken, or if it is this small, immediately the next candle will open, you will see it being taken, and then you get your entry at this candle's high. If this is taken, it means that it is also aligned just like forwards. Now you don't place your stop loss here, it can be liquidated, so you just give it room. Maybe how many pips? We can give it 12 would be reasonable. Can make it 12.5. It's discretionary, provided it is not here. It is not here. The best one is here, which will be 20 pips, but that would be unnecessary, so just give it 12 pips. 12 pips should be enough. So with that 12 pips, now we let the trade run. So you can see the trade start to runs, and then what do we have? We have this is now the pullback I was talking about. You see 2 pullbacks in 1 row. So if we see a full body closure, that brings us to now the entry, which is when low of the first 30 minutes full body closure is taken in your direction. This is the 30 minutes in my direction. So if this low is taken, you should now enter. That is the correct way of trading this strategy. So enter when that low is taken, stop loss here. So this would be the best entry. So even if I was wicked in this other one, I would have still entered here and target at least a 1 to 6, and that was it. So with that in mind, now let's see, that was taken and immediately we got entry, even closed at the right particular place. So we can keep the momentum moving. As you can see, the trade went on well, then news pushed it downward and down and down. Now take note that when news was coming, it was just good manners and good practice. So you could have closed here after the news is still okay. All this after the news is still okay, but if you still have the guts to hold, it was still fine to hold. But when news was coming, you would have had your stop loss maybe somewhere here to give you room for breathing, and at the same time, so that you are not kicked out by the momentum of news. As you can see, it even went further and further. If you wanted to hold for a long time, you would have even held for long. So personally, if I held it like this, I would have left on this particular point. This was just enough. you don't become greedy, this market will not go away. So as you can see, this was 1 to 7, 1 to something. So one trade is enough, and then you are good to go. You just need to focus on getting precision entry that covers all this checklist. So the one that I recommend that you cannot miss is the first three. The first one, market closure in two directions if you want to swing. Then first 4 hours align, and immediately the first 4 hour line, the next the second 4 hours should align, and in the first hour. If it doesn't align in the first hour, you leave it alone.